it's Brittany, Earthling Brittany, and welcome to my video. This is going to be my pantry tour. So if you're new to the channel, let me just explain that first and foremost, we are farmers. My husband and I, Richard, we run Sun and Soil Farm, and so we lean more towards being a farm than a homestead. So most of the stuff we grow is to sell, but I do preserve a good amount of food. And we also grow most of the year. So we're located in Madison, North Carolina. So we have a really great long growing season here. So about our pantry, so let's say we live in a small old house. So our house was built in 1940. I don't have a dedicated pantry space. I kind of fit stuff in where I can in the house. So this might apply to you if you live in an apartment or just you don't have a great space. I'll show you how I'm able to store a lot of food in the space I have. I'm also pretty new to food preservation, and I don't lean towards canning. So if there's a way that I can preserve something without canning it, that's usually going to be the way I go for. And the last difference I would say between my video and other videos is I'm a winemaker. So I have a pretty big collection of homemade wine. So I'll show you that in this video as well. So let's get started on my pantry tour. Okay, we're gonna start the video in my kitchen. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys the overall space so you see what I'm working with. And we're gonna begin with the freezer. So up until June, this was all the freezer space I had. So this is the space, and then I'll pull everything out so we can see what I have preserved. Okay, this was everything that was in that tiny freezer. So I really packed in a lot, and there's some projects in the works here. So let's break this down. This is all chicken broth that I made yesterday, and I'm working on getting it all frozen. I kind of have to do batches. This is my oldest broth cube, so I'll just freeze it and then pop it into a bag. And this is just chicken broth that I made from bones and vegetable scraps. And I love having it frozen because it's really easy to use in recipes because you're going to be heating it up anyway, so you can just thaw it as you cook it. Okay, up next is we have 2 chickens. This comes from our neighbor. We don't raise animals on our farm, but we have a great source of chicken just up the road. Thank you, Homelander Harvest, for growing this amazing chicken. Okay, things in jars. We have hibiscus jam. We grow roselle hibiscus, and we love this jam. It's delicious. So I have some in the freezer, and then we move into salsa verde. So I grow a fair amount of tomatillos just to make salsa verde for us. This is also a tomatillo salsa, but I've roasted red peppers and blended them in, so that's why it's red. And then I have 2 jars of apple butter that I made years ago. I don't really like it, so it's been in the freezer for a few years, and I really just need to use it. And then I have 2 jars of my pasta sauce, my last batch of sauce this year. I decided to just freeze it all because I had space. Right, then things in bags in the freezer. I have some frozen chickpeas. I made too much one time, so I just froze them. I have my bag of blueberries that I'm currently eating through. Zucchini, I love to use this in smoothies, so I'll do 1 banana and then some frozen zucchini. And I don't blanch anything. You can see it has a little bit of freezer burn on it, but I don't really care. It works for me. And then I have 2 giant bags of jicama. We grew jicama this year for ourselves. It's our favorite vegetable. And this is my first time freezing it, so I'm optimistic it will be just as good as it is fresh. Moving on to things I keep in the fridge. Well, this is a project in the works. It's pepper sauce that I made yesterday. I'm going to be freezing this. Just haven't done that yet. And we have hibiscus jam that we're using. I made 2 new jam recipes this year. It's fig and then balsamic fig, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna like them. I love both of them, so I'll definitely be making more of these next year. And then we have more chicken broth that needs to get frozen. Then we move into the pickled stuff here on the right. So pickled beets. I absolutely love pickled banana peppers on pizza. And these keep really well in the fridge. They keep for months, so I don't bother canning them. I just run out at some point, and that's fine. And then Richard loves pickled radishes. It's one of his favorite snacks. So yesterday I made him 3 more jars. So I forgot to mention, we have 1 jar of sauerkraut left, and this is from cabbage I grew in the spring. And it's so delicious, and I don't want to eat it because then I'm going to be out. Okay, this is in the next area of the kitchen. It's our pantry, plus my fermentation corner. Right now, there's some blueberry wine that I've been drinking. And then we have our kombucha. We always have kombucha brewing. We've been brewing for like 10 years now. Then I also have fire cider going. And this I let go for 90 days, so I'm about a third of the way through the ferment. So in the upper cabinets, this is stuff that I've preserved. I have 2 different green powders, and these are handy for smoothies. If we don't have fresh greens or frozen greens, we'll use these. I have 2 jars left of green beans that I canned in 2023. And then I have lots of herbs. I grow lots of herbs because I love to drink tea. So I have holy basil, bee balm, lemon balm. This is all mint right here. I have lemongrass, hibiscus. And this is what I made the jam out of when it was fresh. Nice hyssop flowers. We have hot peppers. These are really spicy. We grew them last year and I use them in fire cider. And then here we have sun-dried, well, we call them sun-dried tomatoes, but they're dehydrated cherry tomatoes, and one of our favorite pasta dishes calls for these, so I dry a lot of these each year. And then we have last year's fire cider. So this is what we drink out of every day, and then we just pour it out of this big jar. And then what's left in here is just stuff we bought at the store, different bulked food options, oils, etc. And then down here in this bottom cupboard is where I keep my actual canned goods. So here's my canned goods, and you can see it is pasta sauce. That's pretty much the only thing I pressure can. We eat a lot of pasta, so this is great to have on hand. I have 21 jars in here from this year. I wanted to get a lot more, but we kind of had a drought here, so it was not a good tomato year. And then over here on the right, we have banana peppers. This was like one of my big mistakes I did. I pressure can pickled banana peppers, and they are so soft and mushy, and I honestly don't know what to do with these. I'm like so proud of them because I grew them and canned them, but I just simply don't eat them. So who knows what I'm gonna do with that. But yeah, this is all my canned goods. Now we're on the back porch, and this is the next space I use for food storage and other storage. So let's check it out. Because we live in the country and our house is old, I keep all of my canning jars in the trash can, and this just keeps mice and things from getting on them. We keep wine bottles and such, and we store water back here as well for emergencies. The exciting thing though is this freezer. I got this June, and it has changed everything. I'm able to freeze so much more food. So next we'll go through this. I think I can just shuffle things around versus take everything out because it's gonna get so cold so fast. So in this box, it's kind of just like little odds and ends that we need to use or find often. So I have garlic cubes that I blended up a bunch of garlic with water and I froze them in ice cube trays. We have pesto cubes. I have a bag of blackberries. I have a bag of bread. This needs to get eaten soon. It's been pretty freezer burn. It's just zucchini bread and banana bread. I always like to have some on hand. And these are egg bites, so just eggs and vegetables, and we just thaw these in the toaster oven when we want to eat them. I have garlic, snow peas, and obviously none of this is like frozen the most ideal conditions. It has some freezer burn on it, but we're going to be eating it all really soon, so it doesn't really bother me personally. Box is a stack of 1 pound bags of frozen elderberries, and I sell these at the farmer's market, so I have a lot of elderberries stored in here to sell. On the right, I have another bag of jicama. I have a bag of green beans, some more chicken from our neighbor. I have dill, another bag of pesto cubes, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of muscadine grapes for future winemaking. I have a bag of chicken of the woods mushrooms that we foraged. We have more chicken from my neighbor. Oh, more pesto cubes. Awesome. I wasn't sure how many of those I had in here. That is great. I have frozen peppers, more frozen peppers, and more frozen peppers. I have a few bags of corn from the store. We'd love to add this into pots of chili. Then we have elderberries. These are for me to use for winemaking or making making elderberry syrup. More elderberries. I have lots of frozen elderberries in here. And the last thing that's in here that I'm not going to show you simply because I'm not going to dig them out. Oh shoot, I do need to show you. All right, let me dig around. Bag of cilantro cubes. All right, and I don't want to pull everything out. I have another bag of grapes. Oh my gosh. This is more elderberries, strawberries, blueberries, and then I have, gosh, sorry if this is so crazy looking, 4 bags of blueberries, and then down here I have, I think, 6 jars of pasta sauce down here on the bottom. And that is everything that is in this tiny freezer. I pack it in, y'all. One more honorable mention is our walk-in cooler. And this is what we keep everything for the farm in. We use the CoolBot system with an air conditioner, and that's what keeps this entire walk-in cold. And we have a lot of food stored in here for the farmer's market this weekend. The last food storage space is our spare bedroom. And we store a lot of food in here as well, so I'll show you what we have in our spare bedroom. Here we have some more of these lovely metal trash cans, and this is what we use for our bulk food storage. So Richard uses a lot of protein powder, so of course we have extra of that. And then we have lots of oatmeal. And I wanted to mention, so we got all of our bulk food at a food co-op that's 45 minutes away from our house. And food co-ops are really awesome. If you've never been to one before, you should really check it out. I'll have a link in the description to where you can see if you have a food co-op near you. And what you'll find there is lots of local food. You'll find usually a great bulk section with lots of different bulk options. And it's a community-owned business where you live. So instead of ordering online, you can support a business in your community. So that's my plug for food co-ops. Alright, so let's see what else. We have more oats. We keep lots of oats always. Oatmeal. We have sugar, coffee, rice, plus more rice. More rice. We have magnesium glycinate. When we put this in our smoothies, this really helps with sore muscles, and because we work so hard, we're sore all the time, so we love this supplement. All right, and then let me turn the camera around for the rest. You can also order like 25-pound, 50-pound bags of things. So I have a bag of semolina flour here. And then we have, let's see, black beans, garbanzo beans, and red beans. Second can is all just dried herbs. I sell dried tea at the farmer's market. On the table, I have sweet potatoes. These are ones that a little bit we grew for ourselves, and then ones that were just too small to sell. So these are the ones we are going to be eating. And then next to it, I have wine that is currently fermenting. Then I also have 533. This is all muscadine wine from this season that's still fermenting. Surprise, surprise, we have one more can full of goods. I have some sugar that I used for winemaking this year, and I have a lot of it left. I think I bought a little bit too much. But as you saw in the freezer, there's plenty more wine to be made. Alright, and then we have in here pinto beans. So just a big bag. pinto beans. This is soybeans. We have a bag of wheat bran that I bought when I was trying to raise mealworms for our chickens in the past. And we don't really eat wheat bran, but Richard's slowly but surely getting through this bag. Then we also have another bag of black beans, and these are the beans we grew. We have some beans that we grew. I'm standing next to probably my prized possession in this whole video, and that is my wine shelf. So this is all wine that I grew the fruit of, made the wine, bottled it myself. So let's see what I have. I knew I was gonna make this video, so I reorganized my shelf, including making these super cute labels to just help me tell you guys what I have. So starting here at the top is just some double bottles, and these are great. If I'm gonna go to a social gathering, I can bring a big bottle of wine. This is elderberry grape that I made. And then I also have some muscadine up here at the top in double bottles. I have 3 bottles of store-bought wine here that I'm just storing on my shelf, and 2 bottles of ginger wine. I have apple wines on this shelf. The oldest one is from 2022. And I practice natural winemaking, so I'm not adding any sulfites or anything like that. It's mostly just the fruit, sugar, yeast, and water. I have on this row apple and rosehip wine. And then this next row here, these ones are really good. They're strawberry wine. This year is the first year I made strawberry wine, and it's one of my favorites. I actually planted 50 more strawberry plants this year, so I can make more strawberry wine next year. There's also blackberry wine on this shelf. Okay, I have 2 shelves of 2023 muscadine wine. And the muscadine is from grapes that I grew last year, all of these bottles. And it's not as sugary sweet as you might think muscadine wine is. I make it a lot drier, so it's really good. I love it. And then I have another shelf of muscadine, and this is my reserve. So it's some of my older bottles and special bottles. Last year I made a batch of white muscadine, so I removed the skins from the grapes so they didn't impart the purple color. And I have 1 bottle of that left. It's really good. And then I have down here 2 rows of elderberry wine from elderberries that I grew. And this is kind of like just a dry red wine. Then I have 1 row of elderberry grape and elderberry / berry, so elderberries, blackberries. Down here on the very bottom, I have a row of potato wine, which when I first started making wine, I had this really old book of old wine recipes, and one of them in there was potato wine. So I tried it, and Richard likes this wine. I don't like it, but it was kind of fun to make wine out of potatoes. Apparently you can make wine out of anything. As long as you have something plus sugar, it can become wine. And I'm not saying it's going to be good wine, but you could do it if you chose to. And on the bottom, I have rose petal wine from my rose petals. And also 1 bottle of mango wine, which I only have 1 left. I need to make a batch of that soon. So you can tell I'm very interested in winemaking, and I'm excited to get better at winemaking and keep trying new recipes. And maybe I could do some videos. I don't know if that's something, I've done a few videos in the past, but some newer videos, if that's something y'all would be interested in, let me know. And also I will link, I have an Instagram account just for my winemaking. I will link that in the description for y'all. The thing I'll show you guys in this room is just, we have 2 more large fridges, and I think this is why I don't preserve as many vegetables. We grow vegetables year round, and we pretty much always have fridges full of vegetables that we didn't sell at the market that need to get eaten. So we eat a lot of vegetables just fresh from the garden or just stored in the fridge. Okay, that is my pantry tour. I hope you guys found that interesting. I had a lot of fun making that video. It was really cool to kind of just see everything I've done this year and all the hard work I put into putting up food for us to eat this winter. I will link below to our website. I have some recipes for like our roselle hibiscus jam. I have an elderberry syrup recipe. I have pickled banana peppers, pickled radishes, and a few other things on there. You can check that out. And it's just pictures of our recipes, so you don't have to scroll and have pop-ups and everything. It's really easy. You can just save the picture to your computer and print it off if you like the recipes. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about our food preservation stuff or anything like that. And I just appreciate y'all for watching, and see you later.